Welcome back to The Edge. New labels to highlight coupons and promos in Google search. The value of backlinks are changing, says Google. Social network Mastodon nearly doubles its users in 1 week. I wonder why. And are we moving towards real-time algorithm updates? Some expert says yes. And your slate of berry blasts all today. You're listening to News from The Edge for the week of November 7th, 2022, here on Edge of the Web Radio.
From the Edge of the Web studios, here's what we're looking at this week.
And I still got it in 12 seconds, so that's supposed to be like a 3-headline top run, and I'm cramming in like 15 headlines. I don't understand why I'm doing that, except that I'm just abusing the system. That's what I'm doing.
It's title stuffing. Title stuffing.
It is title stuffing.
It's
trying to get everything.
It's a form of podcast SEO.
I think it is. On an SEO podcast. If you listen to an SEO podcast, that's exactly how an SEO podcast would actually roll out. See, and put it all in the front of the actual SEO podcast as soon as you hear it. Okay, we're a minute 22 in. This is Edge of the Web Radio. I'm your host, Erin Sparks, owner of Site Strategics, and we're covering SEO and digital marketing news of the week, separate from our weekly interview, getting more news to you even more quickly. Check out everything over at edgeofthewebradio.com, edgeofthewebradio.com. This is the Site Strategics digital marketing news desk of Edge of the Web. Proud to have Site Strategics as the title sponsor of Edge. I'm very proud of the team here at Site, one of the top SEO companies in our region. We're consummate learners, thus this show. We'll talk a little bit more about what we do here at Site, but that's our title sponsor for the show today. Joining me this week to get his take. I got to stop saying that because he's here like every week. I mean, he's almost like a potted plant at this point in time. No? All right.
I mean, is that an insult?
No, it's not. It's like it's a comfort. You're here. It's fantastic.
I mean, it's like a fern. No one likes ferns. That's a bad
Not a
It's
fern.
boring.
You are more like a rubber plant. How about that? Those are cool.
Robert Plant?
Rubber plant.
Oh, I would
Not
love to be
Robert
like
Plant. No. He's very misogynistic. You don't want to go that direction.
Robert Plant's the lead singer of Led Zeppelin. What are you
Oh,
talking
wait.
about?
What was I thinking about?
I don't know, dude.
Who sings Simply Irresistible? Robert Palmer. There we go. Never mind. Yeah, Robert
No,
Plant.
Robert Plant. I mean, I don't know. He could also be a giant jerk. I have no idea.
But you know who's not a giant jerk is Mordy Oberstein. He's the head of SEO
right.
branding at Wix. Mordy, how you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Oh, I'm glad you're good.
Thank you.
So we're tackling news like we haven't done it before, right? Every week we jump in there.
Boy, that's unexpected.
Well, I got a news article for you from Search Engine Journal. Matt Southern writes, Google is introducing new search labels for coupons and promos. Google is updating its shopping search results with new labels highlighting coupons and promotions, and with the ability to compare prices from multiple retailers. And all this happening right before Black Friday. And honestly, there's more and more sales in November. There's no Black Friday anymore, is there? I mean, there is, but I mean, it's far extending beyond Black Friday, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Morty. I appreciate it. So there are some labels
I'm here.
You are like a potted fern. All right, we're good. According to recent surveys by Google, among Americans planning to shop for holidays, 43% are actually planning to look for deals and sales more than last year. Google is a central part of the shopping experience for U.S. consumers. On average, 60% said they've used Google properties for shopping in the past 2 days. That's amazing. I'd love to check out the data sample on that. So what they're doing is actually placing in the shopping experience promotion badges and search results on items that offer a discount using a coupon code, such as 15% off with coupon code holidays. They also have a new coupon clipping feature that lets searchers save promo codes for when they're ready to actually buy. That's interesting as well. Matt actually says it's worth noting that Bing actually beat Google to the punch with this feature as it added coupon codes to search results back in August. However, each company's execution of the feature is very, very, very distinctive. So we got some screenshots on the YouTube video, and it's a YouTube show. Why not? But check that out. It's actually pretty cool and certainly a sizable promotion distinction whenever you're shopping in Google Shopping. Morty, do you shop in Google Shopping?
I do actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's the last thing you bought?
Kinda. I think I might have bought a desk for my kids online, something like that. I
It-
like to use image search for shopping. And then
Yeah.
sometimes, right, you type in, especially because I'm often searching in Hebrew, or I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. I don't really speak Hebrew so well. So the images are very helpful to like make sure I like actually search for the thing I'm actually looking for.
Mhm.
So I know I'm on the right track if the images are right. But in the image SERP, there's usually a carousel or multiple carousels that lead you to Google Shopping. And that's where I usually end up.
And it's getting better and
Unless
better.
I'm not going right to Amazon. I would imagine like if I wasn't living where I live now, I live in Israel and Amazon's not as prevalent,
Right.
I would just go to Amazon.
Right.
Although some of the things they have that Matt mentioned in the article, there's pricing, trend information. I think that's super helpful, especially for
Absolutely.
large purchases. And I think that's where Google sort of has an edge on Amazon. Because I think we've talked about this in the past on the podcast. You know, Amazon kind of glossed over the idea of, hey, you know, it'd be really great to have data insights. We have all the data. Why don't we offer the insights? But they don't, which is fascinatingly bizarre to me. But Google's all over it. There's all sorts of pricing information, trends. You kind of know, like, okay, am I overpaying for this? And I feel like if Google can promote that, showcase that, advertise that, promote that, market that, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and it gets users hooked on that, I think it's a very powerful tool. It's almost like they do with Google Flights. You can see, yeah, are you getting a good deal or not?
And they're sharing that to the merchants as well. So you can actually see how far you're out of line with trending pricing. But having all of your data coming from Amazon, one place, which is it's the environment to be able to obviously conveniently shop, but it's not really giving you that type of empirical information that Google search result actually does for so many other searches. To be able to see that type of comparison, that type of consumer report, it very well could still be feeding into Google Shopping, but it still has the feeling that you're getting some relatively straightforward data that is not going to influence you to go buy this particular product, right?
Yeah, I think that's the big challenge with Google is that, you know, outside of those kind of things, you still kind of think of Amazon as the place to go to for a product.
You may very well buy it there, but at least you're getting
Yeah,
some good trend.
you might end up there.
Yeah.
That's true.
So maybe Google's helping Amazon by providing some trending data. Who knows? You know what? There's an interesting story from Barry over at Search Engine Land that we want to get into the prime docket here. Links may be less important to the Google search rank algorithm in the future. Google. Say it ain't so. Google's John Mueller said that in the future, he can see a Google search ranking algorithm where links are not as important in the overall algorithm as they are today. They're not. You know what? Let's let John actually speak for himself there. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's something where I imagine over time, kind of the weight on the links, at some point will drop off a little bit as we kind of can figure out a little bit better how the content kind of fits in within the context of the whole web. And to some extent, like links will always be something that we care about because we have to find pages somehow. And it's like, how do you find a page on the web without some reference to it? But my guess is over time, it won't be such a big factor as sometimes it is today. And I think already that's something that's been changing quite a bit.
And that last point actually is very, very important. They've already been kind of devaluing links compared to 5-10 years ago, right? So that's John Mueller from the Search Off the Record podcast. And that's pretty interesting hearing from John that links, what they actually ascribed as authority 10, 15 years ago, that's not what authority is now. It's much more EAT, much more semantic knowledge, Google's knowledge graph. It's understanding more and more and more. It doesn't need the tethering that comes with inbound links and inbound content marketing nearly as much. Would you agree with that, Mordy?
Yeah, and it makes total sense. I know link builders don't want to hear this, and I don't think, you know, John says it. I don't think links are going to go away ever as a thing. First off, you need them for traffic. You need them for crawling. And, you know, you could holistically look at links and make that a part of the equation, but links are fundamentally a secondary signal. They don't speak to the content itself. It's sort of like a vote for the content without actually understanding the content per se. So why would you rely on a secondary signal when you actually can understand the thing itself? I mean, you actually understand what's on the page.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a much more complex equation than that. When I talked about this on Twitter, I got a whole bunch of, I don't know, flack, but I got a whole bunch of comments back about, the value of links and what links do and blah, 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 blah from the link building community. And I'm not trying to say that links are not, a vital part of the web. That makes no sense whatsoever. But from a ranking perspective, I don't see the case to say that Google wants to rely on links. Yes, it was novel. Yes, PageRank was amazing. But fundamentally speaking, it's not a primary way of understanding and evaluating content.
Your episode, I'm going to do some cross-pollination here because we edit the show on a regular basis. Your episode 10 over at SERP's Up was focused explicitly on this. And you made...
Right, over wix.com/SEO/learn.
Oh, just kind of plow right in there, guy. All right.
What I do.
That's what you do. Yeah, but it was a really good show, actually focused on the shift of mindset that actually has to occur, that it's a secondary signal. It's not a primary focus, a primary target to go after here. They should be helpful links. It actually hasn't been for the longest time, just going after the glut of links that smacked down in 2012. But still, the domain authority pursuit is a fiction in this era of Google's understanding of the web. It really does need to be helpful links. It needs links are needing to be bringing traffic, like you say, but it's still the gamification of going after that top link, that top cited source, as opposed to demonstrating the expertise, authority, and trust out there. So check out the SERP's Up podcast number 10, where he and Crystal Carter dive into that a good deal. Anything you want to leave on the table here for links?
I just want to know, will you link to our podcast episode in the show notes for this podcast?
Oh, my God. See? Hey,
we're not there yet, right? John said.
All right, let's give him a link, but it'll be a no follow.
All right, I'll do
it. All right, hey, we're proud to have Site Strategics as the sponsor of Edge of the Web. We're pioneers in the agile digital marketing methodology. Our core specialties are technical SEO, SEM, social media, conversion rate optimization, all that is all focused on results-based marketing that works. We've also developed a very unique omni-channel media marketing process here, and a content curation process actually in the studio. We actually have our subject matter experts, have our clients record with us and go through kind of a Q&A, and we deep dive into a lot of great information that they unpack and be able to guide that with some fantastic research from the team here. We find some really great semantic subject matter that we can actually publish in social, on-site, off-site, and the like. So if you're interested in what we can do for you, just give us a call at 877-SEO for web or 877-736-4932. All right, third article. Here we go, guys. The mass exodus that's happening right now from TechCrunch.
Moses!
The decentralized social network Mastodon grows to 655,000 users in the wake of Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. Now, that thing is, the Mastodon is open source. It's a decentralized social network, and they've been benefiting from this last week, the chaotic Twitter takeover. And everybody's reeling from the mass layoffs that are happening. But Mastodon's seeing a record number of downloads of the mobile app. 230,000 people alone have joined Mastodon in the last week alone. This is from Sarah Perez over at TechCrunch. You jumped over to Mastodon, did you not?
I did check it out, and because I heard the calling, let my tweeters go.
Nice.
The exodus over to yeah, it's a mess. I mean, let's be honest. It's like multiple servers, and you can't even put a GIF in there. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I mean, like, I finally found the SEO community on Mastodon, on that server that J.R. Oaks created. I think it's like .SEO community.
After
something like
40
that.
hours of searching?
Well, I created one profile on a different server, but I couldn't follow anybody on the other server, so I had to delete the account. I don't know how to delete the account, so I literally took the first account, put my profile on there, my profile picture, put a giant X over it,
oh my Lord,
and wrote in the description, here's my new profile. That kind of just shows you what a mess this is. It's totally decentralized. Like, there's something to centralization.
Right. Yeah, there is. And they weren't ready for this, were they?
No, I don't think anybody was ready for this. I'm not ready for this. Nuts. The chances of like this actually taking off and like replacing Twitter is less than zero.
But
because the average person is not going to be able to figure this thing out.
No, it's a hot mess over there.
But if they grow and they need employees, I know where some have just been laid off from recently.
Oh, that's wrong, dude. Too soon.
Dude, that hurts.
No, I'm saying they can go grab them up.
Actually, Twitter is asking some of the engineers back right now after that
Oh, really?
Friday layoff. Yeah, absolutely. They're asking them.
It's a disaster. First off, like, what a jerk. You come in here, you're like, you're like, oh, this sucks. You're all fired. And then a giant email.
Yeah.
Like, like my grandmother said, be a mensch. Like, you need to like make some changes. Make sure, but do it the nice way. Do it the right way. Do it with respect.
He did it at 3 a.m. He logged everybody out of their
make
computers.
a statement. Be a giant jackass. That's what he is.
He fired 90% of the staff in India over the weekend, part of the global reductions by Musk, depleting its engineering and product staff in a potential growth market right now. And he's also asking a number of them back to be able to do some work in engineering on the changes that he wants. So not only did he fire your ass, but hey, show me how to fix this.
Oh, hey,
Come on back,
April
please.
Fools. Just a joke, guys.
Turns out we actually needed you.
Yeah, exactly.
You did good work, and the company needs good people to do good work. How crazy is that?
So John Henshaw from Coy Wolf actually posted up a really cool post into LinkedIn. You got to check it out. We're going to put it on the show notes. How to leave Twitter and switch to Mastodon. And he walks through step by step how to actually sign up correctly. So please go check out that. Unfortunately, it's not nearly as user-friendly as we would like, but it is an environment. It kind of harkens back to some old IRC channels way back in the day where you had groups of people that were self-managed, decentralized, and not the 4chans and all that crap. But I mean, back in the day, there was some good, not Discord. Discord is a decentralized environment, right?
Can we go back to ICQ?
Oh,
Where we all have really long numbers.
I want to go back to AIM.
oh my gosh. ICQ was great. AIM, oh my Lord. All right. How about Gopher? Huh? Did you guys use Gopher in the past?
I don't never use Gopher.
No? Okay. You don't know what Gopher is?
That doesn't ring a bell, no.
All right. So I just trumped you all of how old I am. How about that?
All right. I'm going to look this up.
Gotta check it out.
Great.
It was
Good job.
it was a protocol prior to HTTP. There were Gopher addresses where you could actually go find resources on the DARPA built internet. Scary stuff.
All right.
All right.
Must
So
have been a lot of resources back then.
all 3 servers. So Mastodon is a little bit of a hot mess here, but Henshaw actually put together a pretty good layout of how to actually set everything up. Now, check this out. I mean, there's a lot of SEOs, a lot of people in our community that are really looking at Twitter as just something that's going to be dying in a week. Even Lily Ray was saying, hey, we don't even know if this app's going to be around in a week. Here's how you actually archive all your content and the like. So, I mean, there's some validity there, but do you really think that this app, this entire multi-billion-dollar account platform is going to die in a week?
I don't. My personal philosophy. Everyone has different philosophies about this, and
Mhm.
I can understand where multiple sides are coming from. Other than Elon Musk, I kind of feel like he's just like a nut. But I don't think so. My outlook is sort of like, okay, let's just kind of like see what happens here. People going to Mastodon, let's check that out. Let's have some conversations there, see how that goes. I'm not rushing to judgment and see like, oh, this is what's going to happen. Like, all right, let's see how it actually plays out. My thing with Mastodon was like, I wonder, like, conspiracy theory, if it's really Elon Musk who's behind it all, showing, this is your alternative.
You fell into my
Yeah,
trap.
exactly. Twitter.
Oh, my Lord. We wish the best for the Mastodon engineers because I'm sure they're taking a few inquiries right now. How do you do what? So go check out the TechCrunch article as well because that's got a good walkthrough of everything. Each Mastodon server is operated by a different individual or organization and can set its own moderation policies. The users aren't limited to only communicating with friends on their own server. You can find and follow friends anywhere on the network. However, you can...
Not as easy as it sounds, by the way.
You can view your server's timeline feed and the larger federated feed separately from your own home feed of people you follow. You follow me? Yeah. All right. So check it out. And hopefully it's not the mass exodus. Hopefully everything stabilizes. Hopefully Musk realizes he needs a good portion of the people that built Twitter, right? However,
you would think, but
you would think so. Now check this out. As another kind of odd thing is happening right now, Facebook's parent Meta is preparing to notify employees of a large-scale layoff this week. They actually expect to affect many thousands of its workforce. Now, Facebook's 85,000 strong of employees. Twitter was at 7,500. So the proportions are radically different. But 2,000 people or so are expected to be laid off from Meta. What?
That company is a disaster.
Yeah, it's a hot mess. I was actually on
this whole thing of like the metaverse. You don't even know what the hell he's talking about, this guy.
Nope.
We're gonna live in a virtual reality world. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You on crack?
Yeah, we don't want to even posit a thought of what he's actually thinking right now, Zuckerberg.
It's just the craziest model. I don't know. It's like literally like bizarre.
Mm-hmm. And it's
If you're the board
dying
of
right
this
now. No,
company,
there's no
you must
investment
be
there.
Crapping your pants. Like, oh my God, what is this guy doing? Turns out he's just another college dropout, not a genius.
Wow.
Careful, Morty. You sound exactly like my grandpa when I first got on Facebook. What is it? This guy's a nut.
And your grandfather turns out was right.
No, I would say Facebook's pretty successful. I would be okay with people calling me a nut if I was responsible.
I'm not saying he wasn't successful, but a broken clock is right twice a day.
It seems to me like he is banking on everyone's eventually going to get to virtual reality, so I'm going to be first to market.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just in the meantime just going to tread water and make it work until people realize, oh, this is where they want to be.
I think he's watched a little bit too much of like Ready Player One.
Could be.
I would not doubt that whatsoever. All right, so that's in the works here. So check that out. Check the show notes. I'll have a lot of reference to how you can navigate all that, but we feel terrible about all the lost jobs. I mean, we've seen a few layoffs here just recently that were powerful. And you watch some of the CEOs and their responses. Well, I can't remember the one that actually was crying on LinkedIn, but it's the fact that they've run them. Now, Twitter was losing money all over the place, right? They're losing 44 million a day or something like that, some ungodly sum. But
wow.
All things being equal, is that the first thing that you do? You cut the people as opposed to bringing them along?
Day one, right?
Huh?
Day
one. Day one.
He's just doing it to like make a statement, which is like, that's not, you don't screw with people's lives just to make a statement.
Nope. You actually piss them off and get hacked. That's what you do. By that. All right. So
all of a sudden you want to launch a rocket and it'll like turn right back and we're flying to his house.
What was the Val Kilmer movie way back when? What was it called?
Batman Forever.
No, we don't talk about that.
The Saint.
No, it was about him in college with experiments and lasers. What the hell was that?
Real Genius.
Real Genius, right.
Yeah.
All right, never mind. Moving on. All right, so we got one final article here from Search Engine Watch. Who is this guy? Is Google headed towards a continuous real-time algorithm? Written by the Mordy Oberstein, published last week. And check this out over at Search Engine Watch. I'm going to take a stab at this and then turn it back over to the author of this article. The question is, we are observing a highest amount of volatility over the course of the last 12 months. We talked about it on the show here. It doesn't seem to be going down. It doesn't seem to be going down at all, where we used to see arcs of algorithm updates here, 6 months, every quarter. We're seeing algorithm updates that are hitting weekly now. And it may very well be planned that there's no place where we're going to be seeing those anymore. We're going to be seeing now a real-time fluid algorithm update. I'm going to leave it right there because Morty's going to take it over. Is that what you're talking about here?
Oh boy, I wish I would have read the article.
I've got some stuff in the back end here, but I wanted to let you plow on through with your own article. It's pretty substantial, but I got some stuff here.
Well, the basic premise is, look, you're looking at what's happening now, and we've spoken about this a bunch of times, where typically speaking, what you think about an algorithm update is, okay, Google pushes a button and they make an update and everything, gets, thrown up in the air, the rankings trajectory changes. And that's sort of kind of what happens with like a core algorithm update. And that's why those ranking patterns are pretty stable afterwards, meaning if you lost rank, you generally lose rank.
Right.
Obviously, it's not a hard, fast rule. And then you have to wait again until the next update comes around in order to get restored, which again is not a hard, fast rule, but that's generally
But
how it
were
works.
reversals as well part of an update, or they were reversals without any type of confirmation?
Right. Well, within an update, you can have a reversal. You go at the start of the update, you're down. By the time the update's over, you're back up again, even up for more than you were before. So updates, as they roll out, do see trajectory changes within the update itself. But generally speaking, you see updates that get hit, and they get hit. And that's generally what's different between the official updates and, let's say, the unofficial updates, which are just kind of like sites moving around all over the place. And that stuff's happening constantly, all the time. That's basically, in my opinion, that's basically machine learning properties who are, learning, they're advancing, they're consuming information, evolving, and then readjusting, recalibrating, and they're readjusting rank, or they're trying to learn which is better by experimenting and saying, okay, this was good. And then Google takes all of that and says, okay, the machine has evolved, let's hit the button and do an update to interject that officially once and for all, so to speak, into the algorithm.
Like a permanence there. Okay, I see the testing,
Right.
and they go through numerous tests.
We
Yes,
like
it's
it, let's
confirmed. Yes, it's
go.
confirmed. Yeah, right. Got it.
Or you'll see, like, they run the algorithm update, they don't like what happened afterwards, and then they reverse it back. That does happen.
Right.
What I'm advocating is going to happen is something, well, it's literally what's happened with Penguin 4.0, where it's happening in real time. There's no like pushing of the button to now put out the next version of Penguin. That's kind of the point where how Penguin now works. Or you see with the helpful content update, it's completely given over to machine learning. Google's announced this officially.
Right.
And the machine learning is constantly evaluating, constantly classifying. There's a classification wait period, meaning it has to build up to a certain crescendo of this site is no longer helpful in order to get reclassified, but it's happening continuously.
Got it. So there's a number of continuous factors that are being tested, and then
there's precedent. There's precedent for the entire algorithm, which I'm advocating is going to happen going real-time continuous, meaning it's not going to be where Google says, okay, push the button and do it. It's going to constantly micro-adjust as it goes on. Google's not going to release an update, an official update that now knocks out sites or raises up sites and hits new ranking trajectory patterns in the official sense like it does now. It's just going to rely on the machine evolving, doing it in continuous real time, constantly evaluating rank and what should or what shouldn't rank, which I think is better because, one, it would mean more jumping around, more micro movement.
Right.
But it should mean less of these like gigantic swaths of rank.
Absolutely. You're watching trajectory more than cliffs anymore. You're going to be seeing,
which is what the data shows. The SEMrush data that you look back, I pulled a while ago, shows that there's more instances of higher rank volatility. The drasticness of a single moment of rank volatility is less drastic than it used to be. So more movement, but less drastic is that movement.
Got it. So
I think that's better for users. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
You go. I think it's better for everybody. One, it's better for websites, I think, because if Google's going to do something like that, they're only going to do it if they really feel comfortable understanding content. So if they do something like this, it means they feel comfortable in evaluating content, which is what you want, particularly if you're not a giant super authority website. You want Google to be able to understand content per se, so they can say, super authority might have a gazillion links, but your content's better. We rank you. You also want, you're a user, right? Why do you want to wait 6 months for another update to come around to restore, a site that made better content when it could restore that site, in a week from now, because it's constant real-time updates.
And it's better for the consumer. It's better for the site owners as well. This is where I was going to go with this, and I think you're on to something sizable here, especially just knowing the context of the last 12 months and how volatile. It's never gone down. It's constantly been at that. Now, we'll certainly see all these spikes with all the different sensor apps that are out there, but still, we're seeing sizable volatility all the time. So here's what I was thinking as you were describing and walking through this article. My thoughts before the show, not only are we looking at trajectory, but we're going to be able to look at patterns. If you're going to be submitting content out there, you're going to be seeing basically trajectory ripples. It's like an echolocation that's coming back to you from Google real time. As long as you can pay attention to it and know what you're looking for, then you'll start seeing patterns of types of content that real time Google's actually appreciating more or categorizing in a particular manner. And as long as you're watching those micro increments of behavior, you can then have a repeatable pattern of information going out because, you're feeding the beast and Google's really liking this. And you're seeing that come back to you in almost a fingerprint of the type of content that actually is ranking, is valuable, is helpful. What do you think about that?
Yeah, and that's really interesting. And by the way, when we say real time, if you're listening, we don't mean instantaneous.
Sure.
It doesn't mean like, you're going to throw something out there and an hour from now, you'll get some Google's going to start playing with your rank. That's not how that real time means. More. That's why I'm calling it continuous real time. Not like it's like instantaneous real time. That's not what we're talking about. But yeah, I think now you're looking at the weather tools and is there an update, not an update? I think as this goes on, then the information is more constantly flowing. And I would look at, okay, which pages are stable, which pages are not stable. Why would it be that those ones are stable and these ones are not stable? What about those pages that Google seems to like, that it's not trying to fluctuate and see like, okay, what's up, what's down? Or if everything is fluctuating, what does it seem to be that Google seems to be wanting? These pages are the ones that are going up and these are the ones that are going down. What's going on there? So trying to interpret what those trends mean from a content point of view, I think becomes way more into focus than, oh, the tools have picked up an update.
I think what we're going to be dealing with is pattern recognition, and not only on the particular content pages that you're paying attention to, it's going to have a ripple effect across all the other pages that you do have your site structure, and you'll be able to see behavior there. So it's almost like you're dropping and having ripples cascading across your entire website, which also means that if it is somewhat real time, you also have to pay attention to everything that you've written before. And we've always talked about refreshing your blogs, but going back through and understanding the inventory of subject matter that you have on all of those different pages, because all of a sudden, if you see a very positive reaction, real time, the pattern's coming back, you can pivot around and use that same imprint, that same fingerprint of content reflection, and be able to put that on all of the other pages, or at least somewhat of what's subject matter related. So if you pay attention to it, you could very well see what Google's wanting in relatively real time and feed the beast. All right, I'm done with that.
Which, by the way, just to put the thumb further on the scale of like thinking of your site more holistically and not just on a per page basis, the helpful content looks at the quality of the site overall. So if you have 10 great pages and 100 crappy pages, not going to help you.
Not going to help it. But you know what's going to help? Very good article, Mordy. Thank you very much. It's a great one. And on Search Engine Watch as well. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. But you know what's going to help you? Hey, we're very, very happy to have InLinks as an Edge of the Web sponsor. If you want to know what can help you be able to connect the dots for Google and be able to present subject matter expertise, bring entities to the table. InLinks is a entity SEO-based software, which actually is an award-winning software that can actually move your content into subject matter relevancy. Long gone are the days of keywords. It's a thing of the past, and you got to focus on entities and subject matter expertise. InLinks actually provides some expert-level data to build your content around any key concept, so that Google will actually have a better understanding of the context of your articles. Very similar to what we were just talking about with that last article. So go over to edgeofthewebradio.com/InLinks, INLINKS today to claim your free InLinks account and start creating content that will outperform your competitors. All right. Woo! 4 articles, but we had to get to it all. We never will leave this show without some berry blasts. I call it fast track before. It's berry blasts. So,
Fast Tracks Berry Blast.
Fast tracks berry blast. Say that 5 times fast. All right. First and foremost, on deck, Bing image search tests animated ads. Now check this out. If you haven't seen it, go over to Search Engine Roundtable. That's where Barry Schwartz is. And he rolled through a number of articles here just recently that we want to pick up for our berry blast. Bing is actually testing animated ads. If you actually check out the screen there, you see some pretty cool pops and interactive elements there with the different ads that they're running in search. Have you been able to actually see this in the wild, Morty?
No, I haven't seen it, but it's too much.
Oh boy, yeah. Now you're talking about Ready Player One, right? And all the ads.
Yeah, forget the number of ads, but it's so visible and so not in your face, the bad way to put it, but so demarcated and clearly like the focal point of where your eyes are going to go. A little much.
And just wait until there's 4 of those on the page.
You might as well not rank.
Don't even do it. Second article over at Search Engine Roundtable. Google is testing fall decorations in the search results. Nice little motif. Yeah, I've got to throw that one there. And we've got some.
I put that in there as payback from last week. The article you put in there,
bastard. All right. Oh,
I
took the bait. Actually, no. I wanted to go down this road because it does show a user experience tweak. All right. Google is more and more wanting you to play in its sandbox, right? Not go away from Google. All right. So
way to find an angle to save yourself. I literally put that in there as payback from last week. This does not matter at all.
Oh,
Just
you-
SEO voyeurism. Oh, look, they put a leaf on the page. Whatever.
No, it's user experience. And eventually you're going to be able to
Yes.
control your own user experience and make Google your own. Never mind. Nah, I won't dig myself out of that one. All
Ripple
right.
effect.
I took the bait. All right. 200,000 words. Should we have 200,000 words? Is that how you're going to be considered authoritative? Well, Google says no. Last page from Search Engine Roundtable is, hey, no, your website does not need 200,000 words to be considered authoritative. Have you ever written 200,000 words in one sitting, sir?
No. I mean, I can tell you the most I've ever read. I gotta pull up the article, but your website, by the way, needs 201,000.
200,001 words, right? So,
I'm sorry.
Google John Mueller's.
$1, Bob. $1.
He answered actually a Twitter post from a Nat Malatic. You need around 200,000 words on your website to be considered authoritative by Google. But how do you get ideas about what to write? And
Yeah, at that point, you just write whatever. You just write anything. You're just writing. 200,000 words.
John jumps in and goes, I don't know who made up the 200,000 word number.
The
It's
longest
definitely not
post I've
from
ever written
Google.
was 9,500 words.
Half of that should be enough to make you authoritative, right? Because it's all about it's all about word count.
This post was like 85 pages. It's like almost 10,000 words.
Mhm.
200,000 words?
What the heck is somebody thinking
A
out there?
lot of words, man.
You know, we actually should have some sort of feature of how John, all the asinine things that get asked to John, because that would be hilarious.
So the Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, has 187,000 words.
Yeah.
So 200. Like, think about having a website with more words than one of those books.
A web page.
Yeah.
Oh, did they say website? Yeah, website. All
No,
right.
instead of website now. Oh,
There we
now
go.
it's totally different now. Totally different.
And I think
It's 300 words per page, and
think-
just do the math.
I think any random meal described by George R.R. Martin has about 250,000 words. So.
Well, look at any recipe website. They have like what? The
Oh,
entire
geez.
like War and Peace, and then you get to the recipe.
Right.
All right. So
Water,
guess what, guys?
sugar,
It's
coffee
not
grounds.
about how much you write, it's what you write. So I just wanted to end it up on a nice high note, seeing that he just baited me with a previous article. Hey, what's over at...
I almost put in, Barry's picture of the day.
Mhm. Oh,
Like there's a view from like Google Dublin. I almost put that in there.
oh, you ass. All right. SEO chat. What's going on?
Nothing. We're off this week.
And Jacob knew that.
I did not. There was
Why I
nothing
didn't
about
read
it.
About it.
There was crickets.
It was a last minute decision. A lot of ins and outs, a lot of what have you. A lot of different people involved.
I heard it
Also
was
the host.
decided 42 minutes ago.
No, like 2 hours ago, the host couldn't make it.
Got
I
it.
don't think we're gonna find a new one.
Yeah, all
It
right.
happens.
All right. For the listeners who have not experienced SEO chat, don't do it this week, but next week, hopefully, you can jump
Next
into
week,
hashtag
the
on
week
Twitter.
after.
What's it going to be on Mastodon?
Yeah, that's going to be a Mastodon.
Maybe
that's
go
a
back to
good point.
Clubhouse. Who knows?
Can you do that? Depends on your server, I guess. But Chimamanda is hosting on November 17th. I have no idea why I said August.
And what's the subject matter there? Do you know?
To be determined.
All right. So
Twitter.
TBD. But for everybody who's listening, go over to Twitter while it's still standing. Hashtag SEO chat, 1 p.m. Eastern. And jump in there and have some fun. Have the memes and some great information there as well. Right? Right. All good?
Right. Great.
That's a wrap. All right. Well, I'll give you the final promotion here because I appreciate what you do here. But final last words for our Edge audience.
SERP Stop Podcast.
There we
Head
go.
over to Wix SEO Learning Hub over at wix.com/SEO/learn/podcast and hear all of the great production value of Erin and the entire team over at Edge Media Studios.
See, now he's just sucking up, isn't he?
I got to,
Thank you, sir.
I'm sharing the.
Episode 12 is going to be dropping on Wednesday, so check that out. Fantastic show. By the way, check out our Crystal Carter episodes as well, as the second one's going to be. Yeah, we talked to her. We got some good stuff on visual search from her, and it's a fantastic wrap. It really is. So check that out.
Sure,
as
it is.
well.
I'm sure it only had nice things to say about me as well. I'm sure.
She did. I think so. Maybe.
We certainly edited it to sound that way. I think
That's all I care. That's all I care about. That's all I care about.
She was ranting and raving, and then we went live. All right, that's it. Thanks so much, Mordy. I appreciate it. That's it for Edge News this week. Make sure you listen to the Crystal Carter episode as it drops on Thursday. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updated whenever we do drop our videos into the water. Hey, why don't you come over and rate this podcast.com/edge today. Let us know how we do on our shows. We'd love to hear from you, and that helps us rank in the algorithm and reach additional users and listeners who haven't heard us yet. So you might want to even point out last week's show because that was abysmal. But hey, from all of us over at Edge, stay safe, stay well, and do not be a piece of cyber driftwood. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.